Without water, there is no life. More precisely, without easy water there is no life. But what exactly is easy water? And what is the structured water that is so often talked about? And why is this discovery so revolutionary for improving your performance? We'll answer these questions in this post. We know water mostly in its normal liquid state. We also know water in the form of gaseous water vapor, which is formed when it boils. And then there is water in its frozen, solid state as ice. These three states are familiar to everyone because we encounter them in our daily lives. But there is another state of water, called easy water. Easy stands for exclusion zone. It may be starting to sound too scientific, but don't worry. We'll just tell you the bare minimum to understand. This fourth state of water was discovered by Professor Gerald Pollack of the University of Washington and describes a gel-like state between liquid and frozen water. This is because, like ice, this gel has a hexagonal structure. From this, the researchers conclude that liquid H2O first becomes easy water when it cools and only then solidifies into ice. It works the same way in reverse. When ice melts, it first becomes easy water before becoming the liquid familiar H2O again. Snowflakes have the same structure, and again we consider them to be intermediate between easy water and ice. However, this exclusive zone of newly discovered water structure is only a thin layer in which water begins to organize itself near hydrophilic surfaces. At the same time, it clears and displaces all dissolved substances into the normal water layer. This is where the name exclusion zone comes from, because all substances and protons are pushed or excluded from this layer. Extensive research has shown that drinking tap water has a completely different structure to the water found in cells. This is because water attracting surfaces are found everywhere in the body, more specifically in every cell. Therefore, this easy water is formed in the body from the water we drink. It is the gel state that allows macromolecules and cell membranes to function. Easy water, chemically H3O2, is also called living, structured, or hexagonal water. It has many interesting properties. It is negatively charged. It has a gel-like viscosity. It has an altered electronic resistance. It absorbs infrared light. It has an altered pH value. It is self-cleaning and self-adjusting. It has a hexagonal crystalline structure. We'll come back to each of these points in a moment and explain them. Next to oxygen, water H2O is the most important element we need to survive. Without water, you cannot perform, not physically, and certainly not mentally. Structured water is the answer to many open questions in water research. Indeed, water has always been a mystery that has puzzled physicists and chemists. It does not behave according to scientific theories and cannot be pigeonholed. Whether it's freezing point, boiling point, density, or surface tension, water has its own laws. But the anomaly of water might become a little more tangible now, because since Professor Gerald Pollack discovered easy water, nothing is the same. You've probably noticed that when the sun is shining, you're in a better mood and more efficient, especially if you've been enjoying the sunshine outside for a while. An explanation for this fact is now available. The sunlight has re-energized the water in your body, stimulating energy production in your cells and activating the function of your neural pathways. Water is not just a means of transport. It is the active ingredient in many of the body's functions. Almost all functions, to be precise. According to Pollack's theory, easy water can act as a kind of battery through sunlight or infrared light, i.e. it can store and release energy. This is because it is negatively charged. The chemical formula of easy water is H3O2. This makes its molecules stick together and have a gel-like, sticky consistency, which ensures that water stays together in the body. Strictly speaking, due to the changed chemical formula, it is no longer the original water we are familiar with, but a separate element. According to Pollack, the combination of sunlight and water is the source of life from which we all draw our energy. It sounds crazy, but it has nothing to do with esotericism, but with pure physics. Easy water is actually a spectacular discovery that is forcing chemistry, physics, and biology to rethink all the processes in the human body because it is now possible to explain and study them in a whole new way. It is common knowledge that water is essential for life and that people should drink at least 2 liters of it a day. Its health benefits are also no secret. But why H2O has such a great effect on the body could now be explained by the discovery of easy water. After all, humans are made up of about 70% water. According to Pollack, water makes up the largest proportion of easy water and is a critical factor in your performance. As mentioned, water can be energized by the action of light. When irradiated with sunlight or infrared light, the easy content of water increases threefold. Water is charged with energy. Again, this energy can be harnessed in many ways. This is why a visit to an infrared sauna is more than just a wellness treatment. The light leads to more easy water in the body and develops its health benefits. Finally, the well-meaning advice to sit in the sun for at least a few minutes each day without sunglasses or sunscreen to allow the sunlight to be absorbed directly through the eyes and skin makes sense. Another finding is that in addition to light, oxygen and antioxidants can also act on easy water. In fact, antioxidants ensure that easy water retains its negative charge. Without easy water, mitochondria cannot function. The power plants of the cells need at least a small amount of it to produce enough adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which in turn is the energy carrier of the cells. And the more ATP that is produced, the more energy you have available. Without water, cell division and cell renewal would also be impossible. Many celebrities like to state that the secret to their youthful appearance is that they drink a lot of water every day. It's actually quite simple because it actually works. Easy water flows better through all the body's cells and blood vessels. Gerald Pollack found this out in an experiment in which he let water flow through a narrow hose. When exposed to UV light, the water flowed through the tube 5 times faster. This discovery explains the function of capillaries, cell membranes, and membrane tunnels. Thanks to the easy charge of water, the blood flow is constantly moving, transporting oxygen and nutrients to the smallest blood vessels. The negative charge has been found to have the advantage of helping nerve cells communicate. The charge causes better transmission of signals and information between nerve cells. If there is too little easy water in the cells, the transmission is less effective. You can clearly see this when you are not concentrating or unable to concentrate. Drinking water is then a simple and effective solution, coupled with a short stay outdoors. The positive effect on the transmission of nerve signals was subsequently demonstrated in an experiment in which the negative effect of anesthetics was tested. It was shown that the use of anesthetics, both injected and sprayed on the skin, resulted in a reduction in the easy layer and also reduced the transmission of information in the neural pathways. Also, without easy water, the joints would not function. The easy layer charge creates a sort of buffer that prevents the bones from pushing against each other. Easy water also keeps the joints flexible. Muscle tissue is also largely made up of water, which plays a major role in muscle contraction due to its easy content. In addition, the body recognizes the difference between day and night by UV radiation thanks to easy water. In view of the findings concerning the great importance of easy water in the human body, the effect of water from medicinal springs has been studied in more detail. Until now, it was assumed that the positive effect on health was due to the mineral composition. In fact, however, it has been shown that water from medicinal springs, such as glacial springs or springs from deep in the rock, has a high easy water content. Scientists have not yet devised a reliable method of how best to produce easy water. However, freshly squeezed juices, whirlpool or glacier water are known to be good sources. Placing a carafe of water in the sun for a while also seems to be a way to change the texture and energize the water. Even stones in water may soon lose its reputation for esoteric quackery and be seen as a serious method of producing living water. Do the effects of easy water sound too good to be true? Pollack's research is fascinating in many ways. It seems that water is more than just a random substance in the background of our biological processes. It is part of them. It almost seems as if previous research has once again failed to see the wood for the trees. Pollack is rediscovering water as an essential part of biochemistry. It's a fascinating analogy, with answers suddenly appearing in the supposedly empty space between things we've been studying for years. What's more, Professor Pollack's voice is an important voice in an increasingly loud chorus of scientists who are discovering that there is much more to water than the textbooks say. Water can have very different properties, depending not only on the substances dissolved in it, but also on the structure of the water itself. His research shows that the water in living organisms is fundamentally different from the water that comes out of our tap. Living water is ordered and interacts structurally with the macromolecules it contains. This may bring us one step closer to the view that water is a memory medium and stores information.